Hi everyone, welcome to one more episode of Newspapers, Camilla and Caffe. Today we're going to read and comment on the language of an article taken from the New York Times, and the incident that we're going to read about, the incident reported in the news, happened in Seoul in South Korea just last week. And we're going to read about art, contemporary art to be specific, and something that happened to a painting that was being exposed in an exhibition. So here we go. So we'll start reading the article now, and the title goes, "Couple who defaced a $400,000 painting thought it was a public art project." So right from the start, from the very title, we already know that something went really wrong with this painting. The vandalism of a piece by the graffiti artist John Won at the gallery in South Korea has prompted a debate about contemporary art. So this event prompted, it means it provoked, it caused, it started a debate about contemporary art. Alright, let's have a look. Seoul. The couple saw brushes and paint cans in front of a paint-splattered canvas at a gallery in Seoul's shopping mall. So this couple, boyfriend-girlfriend, saw brushes, the tool that we use to paint, and paint cans in front of a paint-splattered, it means a canvas with splashes of colour, at this Seoul shopping mall and a shopping centre. So they added a few brush strokes, assuming, taking for granted, that it was a participatory mural. So right from the beginning, we find out what happened, and it's kind of awkward, really, a situation to imagine that you just add to a painting that's actually there just for an exhibition. That's why I was so curious about this article. That's why I wanted to comment it with you, and I'm really curious to see what you all think about this incident. So the couple assumed, so they took for granted, they imagined that this was a participatory mural. Not quite. Not quite. What does this expression mean? Not quite is like not really, not exactly. That was not the case. So not quite. The painting was a finished work by an American artist whose abstract aesthetic riffs on street art. So his aesthetics is inspired by the street art. It repeats some patterns of the street art. The piece is worth more than $400,000 according to the organizers. So the organizers say this. So the organizers of the exhibition that included the painting in the exhibition. Now, it's hard to tell where the artist's work ends and the vandalism begins. Until now, we've read about the facts, and here comes the topic of the debate. It's hard to know where the artist's work ends and vandalism begins. Graffitied graffiti, a local newspaper headline said last week. So a local Korean newspaper talked about this incident with the title, put in the title, "Graffitied graffiti." Because it's a painting that resembles a graffiti that's been written over. Either way, so regardless of the incident, the piece Untitled by John Andrew Perello, the graffiti artist known as John Won, is now a magnet for selfies, so it attracts people who want to take pictures with it. And on social media, South Koreans are debating what the vandalism illustrates about art, authorship, and authenticity. So these are the topics of the debate. What is contemporary art? Authorship, so who is the real artist, who is the real author, and authenticity. The artwork is displayed with paint cans, brushes, and shoes that the artist used when he worked on it. So this is why the brushes and the paint cans were there, because they are part of the exhibition. So the artwork is displayed with these paint cans, brushes and shoes that the artist used when he worked on it. One of the exhibition's organizer, Kang Wook, said in an interview, he added, there were guidelines and a notice, so a piece of paper giving information about the piece of art, but the couple did not pay attention. Some social media users have echoed Mr. Kang's reasoning. So it means that some of the people that are discussing this topic on social media agree with the organizer, echoed his reasoning. Others say the sign was confusing and the couple should not be blamed. So they say it's not their fault. It's not the couple's fault. It was just not clear that they shouldn't have painted on top of it. So here we have the two sides of the argument of this debate that has a reason due to the incident, because of this incident. A few suggest that the incident, so the happening, the event itself, was a form of contemporary art. So debating about art, this happening is the art itself, according to some people online. Others say that the couple's abstract brush strokes, so the stroke is this movement, so the painting basically, that the couple's abstract brush strokes, the marks, 3 green blotches, 3 green stains, 3 green marks, covering an area of about 35 inches by 11 inches, have improved the piece. So according to some people, these additional strokes of paint have made the canvas better, have made the painting nicer. They've improved it. The debate is notable in part because the crime was not intentional and the painting can be restored, said Kem Kin, an art restoration expert in Seoul who has seen the vandalized work. So some harm has been done, but it's possible to restore the painting, and this vandalism happened by chance. It was not premeditated. They didn't mean to damage, to deface the painting. That's why this piece of news has become so interesting to read about. The couple were arrested but released after the police determined that the vandalism was accidental. They didn't do it on purpose. The local news media reported. Mr. Kang said the couple told the police that they had thought the artwork was open to public participation. So at the beginning they think the piece of art is open to public participation, and then they are arrested. So this is why we use the couple told the police that they had thought. Before doing that, they actually believed that it was open to participation. The artist, John Won, said in an interview on Wednesday that he was disappointed, he was upset, he was sad and angry that his work had been defaced, damaged, although some people have said the publicity could work in his favor. So even if this happened, this could be a source of extra profit for the artist because he's becoming more well known because of this issue that has arisen. He said, art should be a religion, you don't paint on a church. So this is his idea, he's very strong-minded about it. All right. John Won said the vandalism of his work in Seoul reminded him of growing up in New York City and the feeling that his talent was not appreciated. So this is what he links vandalism to, his idea of not being appreciated when he was a young artist. As a teenager, he would sign his graffiti with the tag John Won. So when we use a he would sign, it means he used to, this was a habit in the past, to sign his graffiti with the tag John Won. His style later became more abstract, although he continued to use graffiti lettering, so even if he continued using graffiti lettering as the foundation of his work. Now 57 and living in Paris, he has described his aesthetics as abstract expressionist graffiti, a nod to Jackson Pollock and other American artists who redefined modern painting in the years after World War II. So these abstract expressionist graffiti are a nod to Jackson Pollock and other American artists, which means it's a homage to them, okay? It's out of respect and admiration. He decided to inspire his work to their own. Julian Colley, a gallerist in Zurich who specializes in graffiti art and has exhibited John Wan paintings over the years, said that they often provoked strong reactions from the viewers. Some are full of praise, so some of these reactions are full of admiration, positive comments, and others think that a child could do better. He said, "Of course, I'm in the first category." So this is the big debate, the great debate about around contemporary art that was already public, and is just being brought back to the public in one more case due to this incident. So is it actual art? Shall we praise it, appreciate it, or can actually a child do better? Just because is the thought behind the painting, is it part of the art, or is it just what we see? Is that it? And of course the gallerist says that he is of course in the first category, so he believes that John Wan's works of art should be praised, should be admired. But we are concerned, he added, because there are many comments saying that the artwork should not be restored and remain as it is. So there is a little bit of confusion around what to do now. We don't really know if they are going to restore it or not, because some people are in favor of having the painting restored. Some others say the artwork should not be restored, it should be left the way it is now. So I like this story. I thought it was quite different from the news that we read on a daily basis nowadays, and I became kind of curious as from where does the word graffiti come from, because we use it in English, we use it in Italian and many other languages really, so I went to check its etymology. So it's a word that actually comes from Old Italian, so it's ancient Italian, and its graffiti is the plural of graffito, which is a way to say scratch or scribble. So a scratch when you scratch a surface, or a scribble when you quickly make a note of something. And it's a term that was used to describe ancient paintings, not necessarily paintings, but paintings or inscriptions on the walls, and has just very recently been adapted to street art, so what we consider graffiti today. Thank you very much for being with me this week too. I hope you enjoyed the article. I hope you learned something new, some new words, some new structures, and I'll see you next week, as always. See you next week. Bye, everyone.